Okay, so I'm having a bit of a break. I wanted to talk about a couple of things today real quick. And one message I get sent a lot, or a question I get asked a lot, is how do you find the time to do all the things you do? Where do you get your money from? Where do you get the motivation for things? Where do you find the energy and motivation to get Guinness World Records? And everything along with that, I want that. How do I get that? Maybe that's why you click this video. Well, the reality is, nobody actually cares about you. And when I say that, well, let me explain. So when I was younger, I used to spend a lot of time and effort making friendships work. I would drive across the country 3 or 4 hours every single weekend. I would work a 9 till 5, drive 3 to 4 hours to a different city, hang out with my old friends, sort of maintaining those relationships, making them work. It was quite hard to do on the internet back then. You needed a certain amount of hours of face-to-face time, and the internet would never help you maintain those friendships. So it always had to be in person. It's a very different place now, the world. So that's what I would do. I spent all my money on gas money, petrol money, sort of making that work, and have very little left over, and found myself very trapped very quickly. I realized quite early on, actually, and I was like, how do I ever get out of this situation? I work, I buy gas, I barely eat, and then I have no money again. Crazy, right? And then I realized to myself, a little later, I got an arcade machine. I put it in my house, and I found myself driving to my friend's house to collect him, bringing him back to my house so he can play all day for free, and then I'd take him back in the car to his house to take him back home again. And one day I was just thinking to myself, what am I doing? Actually, a lot of things happened. A broken finger got involved with that as well. Long story short, what am I doing? I'm putting in all this effort with all these people, getting very little in return. But I can't be completely selfish and say that it's completely their fault. I'm sort of enabling that. I'm collecting them. I could just refuse. So one day I just went from hot to cold, or cold to hot. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to spend any money. I'm not going to spend any time making these things work. I'm going to see what happens. Social experiment, right? It went very quiet for a very long time, put it that way. Some of those people I never spoke with again, ever since that day. And it wasn't really, I don't want to be your friend anymore. It was more like, let's see what happens. Maybe this person will hang out. Absolutely silent. And that's when I start to realize, I start to put these things together, bringing it back to the start of the video. Why did you click this video? You want to find out some information. You want to find out what I do, where I get money from, all these things. People are very selfish. People look after their own. People care very little about other people, except, well, they always seem to put themselves first, put it that way. When you're sort of pressed with a very real life situation, someone is being beaten up on the street, being mugged, very, very few people would step in and help. A lot of people would stand there and just watch it happen because they're in fear for themselves. They're putting themselves first. It's a human instinct. This is how we evolve. We come from cavemen, cave women. That's it. It's a natural instinct. It takes someone very special to say something against the grain, to come up with new ideas, to come up with changing things, revolutionary things. People hate revolutionaries. They absolutely hate them. They throw them in jail, if anyone knows anything about history. So, one day I thought, no, right? If I want to go on vacation, I'm going to go. I'm going to go by myself. I'm going to find the strength and confidence just to go. I don't need a group of people surrounding me. I don't need friends with me. Because friends hold you back sometimes. People hold you back. They hold you back from your own potential. You hold yourself back from your own potential by waiting for other people, for things that can never happen. If you want to go on a vacation together, let's all go to Japan. There's always that one asshole that doesn't have their passport. And then the group trip never happens because you spend your time waiting. And then someone's car breaks. They need their money to fix their car. There's a lot of things, a lot of excuses. We used to go to the nightclub almost every week, and this one guy would always come up with this fascinating excuse, but he would never give it until Monday. You contact him Friday night, Saturday night, completely silent. Monday, he would always reply saying, "Oh yeah, this happened. Because people just want to do their own thing. They want to please everybody. You know, like a chameleon. They want to tell the people at the nightclub they want to go, but they couldn't. And they want to tell their work friends they want to do this, but they can't. But secretly, they just want to sit at home and maybe watch Netflix. Some people want to do that, you know, let them do it. But the thing you don't want to do is drag these people into things they don't want to do. And even if they do want to do those things, make them put in their own effort. Because then you get one-sided friendships and one-sided relationships. Throughout time, as you get older, what you'll realize is some of your closest friends will start being pushed away for whatever reason. And people you consider an acquaintance, maybe that kind of person at the back of the room you never really thought about much, would slowly become your best friend. This happens through time. This happens a lot when traveling as well. A lot of close friends can't handle you moving away or traveling for a year. They think, I don't know, weird things happen. So a lot of acquaintances, people you didn't really think about, slowly become your friends. They are a lot more mature, they understand the world a little better, and you can have more relatable conversations with them. So, not to say nobody cares about you, maybe that was quite heavy, but a lot of people will put themselves first. And you can't let that be a detriment to your own goals, your own motivations, and everything else. If you want to do something, you should do it. Don't wait for anyone. Don't wait for approval. Don't worry about what people might think. That's the worst thing you can do. If you want to say something, you have something honest to say, you want to give a critique, as long as you're not really being a total asshole, then do it. Don't worry about other people. You're sacrificing your own potential. You're sacrificing a lot of things, but mainly for yourself. Don't let you hold you back. I'm not reading off a piece of paper, by the way. I'm just looking at my leg. But yeah, a lot of thoughts I came through over the last week, but it's materialized over the last 15 years or so. A lot of people that you think you're very close to will let you down one day. And it's your choice if you want to forgive them or forget them. And that choice is yours. I can't really tell you what to do with that, but you will find a lot of people a lot more selfish than you think. And if you find that one person, your ride or die, is a very rare thing. Sometimes it's usually something that comes up through childhood. You've been through a lot of negatives and positives together. You have a lot of mutual respect for each other, and that's how those relationships form and bond. When you get older, it's quite hard to meet people because you're spending less time with those people. You're spending less time in certain situations where you learn a lot about each other. That could be going to a nightclub when you're 18, having some of the worst things happen to yourselves, and that's how those friendships form. So if you have someone you fully trust, then congratulations to you. But it is a very rare thing and something that should be very cherished. But the point of the video is, don't let you hold yourself back. If you have something you want to do, a goal you want to achieve, do it. And everything will follow. The money will follow. And you apply that to everything in life, you will be successful. You don't need to answer to anybody. If someone wants to know what you do, don't tell them. Tell them something else. Who cares? Because the only thing they want is what you have. Believe me. Okay, back to it. We're doing a little bit of work here.